I have spoken about over a few vlogs about how universal love and support can come your way when you are true and right. So, as far as possible, everybody tries to do the right thing. But collectively, sometimes society starts to go wrong. The other time I was watching some video. I think it was either on Instagram or YouTube. So I keep watching these reels, and a lot of times I see a reel where a mother is every day giving a child some heavy dose of medication. The child must be around 3 4 years old, and the mother or the parent says that I had this child with great difficulty, and when this child smiles, I forget all the pain and how much joy I have brought to the world. And then they show the video or they share the clip where she's injecting the child with something, maybe some medicine that the child needs or injection that the child needs every day and will need it for the rest of his or her life. So, if you have to inject some child or give tablets, heavy duty tablets or doses or medication to a child who's possibly 3 4 years old, all the way till the old age, I think you're being very, very insensitive as a parent because you're not giving that child a life, you're giving that child's life a disease. And that's what will keep occupying that child's mind forever. And as even as an adult, that child is always just thinking about that dose that the child has to take every day. So a lot of times when I mark a comment on such clips or videos, I get heavy duty hate speech, or people just telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. But let me tell you, if you have to have a child, or if you've given a birth to a child who's amazingly diseased and will need medication for the rest of his or her life, I think, not think, given how my spiritual stature is and how much I can help this world, I would suggest that the child be put to sleep for his or her own good. So, today's the topic I'm going to talk about is being true and wrong, and also being true and wrong. I will continue with this same example where, while the parent is right that he or she is given birth to the child, they are wrong because the child is not okay and will need medication for the rest of their life. This is one true and wrong. The other true and wrong is, in that same clip, I don't know what clip that was, some person replied that this is nothing. This child taking a medication or an injection or so many medicines is nothing. I've been through a war. That person is also true and wrong. See, what happens is increasingly there is a refugee problem world over, and somehow only people who can't see it is the Muslims, and it is all coming from the Muslim world. First, one country goes bust, then the second country goes bust, then the third Muslim country goes bust, fourth country completely goes bust, and all Muslims are traveling to Western countries or to every other country wherever they can find a footing and make a house. Somebody will say, what is wrong with that? Everybody will run for a good life. At what point will the Muslim world agree that there is a problem with us talking so much religion and controlling people so badly or being so punishing that nobody wants to truly live in a Muslim world? They are just fleeing because eventually every other Muslim country becomes very, very brutal. They are true that we should do this, we should do this, we have been told this, we've been told that. The belief system is correct, okay. But eventually they're just going bust over something. They don't know how to administrate. Nobody will put up with being a punishing society, a controlling society. So when the Muslims start running away as refugees in millions, and they've been doing it for more than 50, 60 decades, they're just going on. Sorry, 5, 6 decades, they're just going on. First the Syrian, then Afghanistan. Pakistan is also now in turmoil. Don't be surprised if Pakistan starts having millions of refugees showing up everywhere. Bangladeshis, and overall Muslim population is too much. It's time for Islam to become gentle as a flower. And I say this because I hold the stature of Allah and I guide you. I don't want any more Muslim countries going bust or people running away and some civil war starting off. A certain code of gentleness need to be set in to every Muslim country. Then you will become true and right and be supported by this universe. There is already existing population in a certain country which is going to work, making their daily, you know, doing their daily thing, going to work, cooking, eating, sleeping, going out, family time. And then you have this great influx of refugees who want to be helped, and they refuse to integrate with the society. They will continue to work with their belief system. So, when there are too many true and wrong in a society, as a society, whether it is any society which is welcoming their refugees, the biggest refugee intaker for the longest time is UK, Canada, US. So, the first and foremost thing you have to do is you have to bring in a uniform code of conduct. Everybody will need to integrate into the society. There's a big, there is something going on in US about a right to, see, I don't follow the politics so well, but there is something going on about transgenders and LGBTQ community asking for their rights and their noun being said correctly. You are true. If you feel in a certain way, then it's okay that you want a certain change about you and society to accept that change about you. That is true. But you are wrong when you say you want to have children and bring into this world as two women or two men or as a transgender. It's not allowed. It won't be allowed. Such a medical help will should not be allowed because it's not universally supported. So the clash of true and wrong is to integrate the society. There is less and less understanding about right and wrong, and people want to continue their belief system even if they came from the cave ages. It's not allowed anymore. A person has evolved thinking, and we should work for the good of the people, and nobody should get punished heavily or harmed heavily. So, when the society, there are too many people who are true and wrong and true and wrong, you need to have law in place to not let this true and wrong grow. I am affected very deeply that in a lot of parts of UK, even in Canada or America, Sharia law is getting practiced. I see this as a failure on the countries, and there may be more Western countries also where refugees walked in and now they practice Sharia law. So, one, I'm a spiritual heavyweight. And if you would like to know more about me, who I am, then you can check my vlogs and the links given in the description box. So, what problem I have with people practicing Sharia law is that over somebody stealing something, a hand gets chopped. Men are told to take in four wives, or they're allowed to take in four wives. You know, personally, I feel, and I'm being told spiritually, this world should be sparsely be populated. People can marry, no problem. You can have as many wives. It's your belief system. But there should be a condition or number of children people are having. And this shouldn't just be barring and holding on a certain community, but world over, there should be control on number of children that are getting reproduced because we are experiencing great climate change. Every other country is going bust. The latest is US is now cashless, or there is a very big money problem with US. Increasingly, people can't afford groceries everywhere, world over. And all these problems are coming because we started to abuse the natural resources. We are given abundance, but we've gone on overpopulating or immigrating or taking in so many refugees and not telling or teaching them anything. So they are also going on overpopulating. And for the first time in such a abundance, people are going to starve and die. You should read my article only if you met the tiger in Tiger Land to understand what I'm talking about. So, to set the wrong people who are true and wrong on one side and people who are true and wrong on the other side, you should have few laws in place. Law number one is everybody should have a time bound job to go to everywhere, irrespective of religion, irrespective of how rich you are. Somebody says, but I'm a trillionaire. No problem. You will have a government job to go to. Somebody says, but I'm a trillionaire's wife. No problem. You will also have a time bound job to go to. So, applies for a billionaire and a millionaire and a multimillionaire, a rich person, an upper class, middle class, lower class, and slum class. World over, everybody will go to a time bound job just to fix the mind and the thought process. The second is, as a society, we have to evolve to become gentle. We can't continue being cruel and punishing as we were maybe a decade back, or 2 decades back, or 3 decades back. No community can afford to be punishing and cruel. Cruelty, irrespective of what it is coming from, a belief system or religion, will be deemed as a punishable act. Everybody will go to jail. You can't be cruel and punishing. So certain things will need to be banned and stopped world over. And I keep saying the world should be sparsely populated. If a certain child or a certain existence needs medical care for the rest of their life, I think you would just do a lot of you would be of great help if you let that child just go. That should be made legal and a law. Only then you can fix the true and wrong, which will then become true and right. And when everybody will go to work and have their belief system in correct place, and overall the society will become polite and gentle, we will have true and wrong on the other side also corrected as true and right.